Hello and good morning. It's Pastor Dan, and I just wanted to do a walkthrough for how we're going to worship in the sanctuary because this Sunday, October 4th, World Communion Sunday, is going to be our first in-person worship service in the sanctuary. So I'm just going to kind of review a few things in case you hadn't heard. First of all, as we're all getting used to, you'll be wearing a mask when you come into the sanctuary. So our policy is going to be that everyone just keeps their mask on during the worship experience. But I'm going to keep my mask off just so you can hear me while I'm speaking. But everything from the front of the building on into the worship experience, you'll have your mask on. Now we're going to have the doors propped, so you won't need to touch any door surfaces. So you just come on in. And once you get into the narthex, we'll have a table here that'll have your name on it because we're going to ask you to just call the church office or send an email, and so that way we'll know that you're already coming to worship and we'll check your name off the list. The only reason we need to do that is just in case for some reason we need to do a contact trace of who was in worship. We'll have you checked off that you came to worship. So come on into the sanctuary with me, and as you can see, we will have the hand sanitizer station available for you, and you won't really need to touch any surfaces as you come in. We've got a whole brand new AV system that's going to be really exciting for everyone this year as we worship together. So that's going to allow us to project all the lyrics, all the hymns, everything you're going to need for your worship experience will be on the front screen, which is also a brand new front screen, which you will really enjoy that. So you're going to come in as a family unit, and we've got the pews are going to be X'd off that we're keeping not available. And then the pews where we are being seated, you'll see we've got some signage to remind you to stay 6 feet apart. And you'll want to sit together as a family unit. Also, as we're trying to encourage everyone, if you have flu-like symptoms, you suspect you're running a temperature, we're going to ask people to stay home from our worship experience just for the protection of everyone else. As we come forward, people will take their seats, and we're going to let you seat yourself with your family unit when you arrive. So we'll just allow you to choose a seat that allows for social distancing from other individuals. And up at the front of the sanctuary, we're going to have our worship team. So what we're going to ask everyone to do is after they're seated, and we are going to begin seating folks at 10:45, and the worship service will begin promptly at 11. So that's to just be aware of that. The worship team will be up here in our chancel area, and we're going to ask that everyone who is in the worshiping congregation stay out of the chancel area so we have plenty of social distancing. And so the 4 worship team members will be up here. We'll be utilizing these music stands, and we will then be entering and exiting from the side so that we will be able to lead worship. And our leading of worship will happen without wearing masks because we are going to be quite a distance from anyone who's in the worshiping congregation. And my preaching will happen from the centering, and we will also be singing the hymns that will be projected above our heads. Now, the worshiping congregation will not be able to sing the hymns, but we will sing the hymns, and so you will still have plenty of music and plenty of opportunity to hum along and enjoy our worship singing. Okay, and then when it's time to leave, it's going to be important that we make sure we continue to maintain social distancing. So at the end of the service, we're going to ask that families make note of a normal policy of having folks leave by the back rows first, and then we will just dismiss ourselves as we move towards the front of the sanctuary so that there's plenty of room for folks to go back out the same way that they came in. We are going to make the bathrooms available, so if you have a situation where you need to use the restroom, we will also have these doors propped open, and you'll be able to come through these doors without touching any surfaces. And then we're going to ask folks to go ahead and use the restrooms that are located on this main hallway right outside of our fellowship hall. We are going to ask people not to use this men's room, which is located right by the door here. So we will have signage to remind you not to use this restroom. And we're going to ask people not to go at all in the back hallway, because there's really no reason to do that, and it just increases the need for a cleaning that really is not necessary. So if you need to use the restroom, we'll ask you to use the restroom here and then back into the sanctuary. So again, just to recap, and just to kind of touch on the basics, we really do want you to come and join us. Please call the church office. Just let them know you're coming. This is just so we know we have appropriate spacing for everyone in worship. And don't forget to bring your mask and keep it on during your worship experience. And also remember, it's going to be important that we respect each other's space. I think we've all gotten used to the fact that we won't be able to give people hugs or have contact points with other non-family individuals. But, we are on a journey, and this is our first steps towards a worship experience, and we're really looking forward to seeing everyone this Sunday, October 4th. So come worship with us.